How's it going tonight? It's Constitutional Hero here. Some of you know me, some of you don't. Just gonna wait for some people to get in here and see what's going on. Hey Tennessee, what's up, man? Got some pleasant information from Montgomery County Sheriff's Department today. They released some of the narratives, as I like to call it. From these are just initially incident reports, their side of the story. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. If y'all have any questions or comments, feel free to ask before I start digging into all this information. It's pretty funny. If you haven't seen the original Tyrant alert, that would be Tyrant alert, First Amendment audit, Clarksville, TN, Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. I have no clue. I don't even know what that says. I'm illiterate, I guess. I'm gonna try to get on some better lighting in here real quick. I really don't think that's gonna help. No, it's gonna make a damn glare. Oh, such is my life. No, it's not full of smoke. It's just the quality of video. It's kind of dim-lighted. See, no, that's gonna make too much shit too. I'm screwed. I'm screwed with lighting in here. But, so, I'm going to go ahead and begin with the officer's side of the story. Their incident reports, pretty much, or their, I guess you would say, sworn statements at this point. Clean the lens. Okay. We'll clean the lens real quick. That didn't help none. Nope, didn't help none. But anyway, so we're going to start with some of their sworn statements. It's pretty interesting. News Now Tennessee and News Now Anonymous were with me on this aforementioned date, which was, I'm pretty sure it was the damn, no, I guess it was the 3rd. So let me see. Well, hell, I don't know. I don't know what date it is. News Now Anonymous or News Now Tennessee. Can y'all correct me on the date? But so this is. Oh, okay. I know what's going on now. There we go. This is Kelly Potter's narrative. The 2nd. Okay, so the date happened on the 2nd of March. So he goes, I was sitting in the briefing and Sergeant Evans received a phone call from dispatch stating there were guys taking photos and videos of dispatch and were now in front of the sheriff's office. Sergeant Evans informs us to go outside and check and see what's going on. When I went outside, I observed 3 people and fully clothed. He goes, in full clothing. I hope we were fully clothed. I'm pretty sure we can't just run around naked. 2 of them had their face covered, and all you could see was their teeth. So my question would be, if we had our face covered, how could you see our teeth? I made contact with News Now Tennessee. I informed him numerous times that he and his buddies were being suspicious and covering their faces and taking pictures of government buildings, and that I needed to identify them. Well, I'm pretty sure that's not reasonable, articulable suspicion that we have, or we were about to commit a crime. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not. Let's see. Okay. News Now Tennessee tried to recite laws that did not pertain to what he was doing or him being suspicious. It keeps cutting out. I don't know why it keeps cutting out. Is the feed working again? Okay. I'll continue on. I informed News Now Tennessee that if he did not give me ID, he would be detained so we could identify who he is. I pulled out my handcuffs, and I was going to, and then that's when he pulled out his Tennessee driver's license and handed it to me, and identified as News Now Tennessee. Oh, Big Brother is definitely watching. Trust me, my phone has been blinking off the hook today talking about this crap. Normally my little phone icon, it just stays solid phone icon. Well, when I call certain people, it likes to blink. Has nothing to do with service, has everything to do with somebody tapping into a line. Deputy Bosworth was trying to get News Now Anonymous to give him his ID. He refused and still had his face covered, and we could not identify him. He was informed to give us ID or he would be detained, which that isn't the case. Well, if there is a drone, they better drone strike me. It would be less cost effective to go that route. We armed in here. Right, drone strike. Not once in the forementioned incident did they say detained. We asked several times if we were going to be detained, or if we were detained. The only thing that the deputies mentioned, especially Potter, was arrest. If you did not show me your ID with BB, no, I'm not a criminal. There's no well, there is one BB gun in this house, and that belongs to my 5-year-old son. Oh, most definitely. They definitely lied about us being on their property, which we have something interesting coming up about that. Hopefully News Now Tennessee gets that going pretty shortly. Okay, so Deputy Bosworth was trying to get News Now Anonymous to give him his ID. He refused and still had his face covered, and we could not identify him. He was informed to give us ID or he would be detained. No, he was told that he was going to be arrested. Get your story straight. If you're going to lie, you might not want to do it on an official document. So we could identify him. He was informed that his activity was being suspicious. Well, is suspicion a misdemeanor or a felony? You tell me. I told Deputy Bosworth to detain News Now Anonymous and to take him into the sheriff's office, you mean kidnap him, since he was instigating the scene, and so we could identify him. I then made contact with constitutional hero, yours truly. I informed him that I needed ID to verify who he was, or he would be detained so I could identify him. No, you threatened me with arrest and pulled out your handcuffs, threatening my life, pretty much, at that point. Definitely threatened me with physical harm. After a few times of me explaining to him that he would be detained, he retrieved his ID and gave it to me. Well, no, that's because you didn't give me a choice. Either give ID or I'm going to kidnap you. He identified as constitutional hero. Due to reports that they were on dispatch property taking pictures and videos of the building, all parties were given criminal trespass. I wasn't given criminal trespass. as far as I know. I haven't received a document. I didn't receive a citation. So, you know, if you're going to charge me with something, at least do it right. And for the address on dispatch property is 130 South 1st Street, Clarksville, Tennessee, 37040. So, Potter goes on, constitutional hero. While I was talking with dispatch after the incident, I was informed by dispatchers that constitutional hero is a person of interest to CPD in reference to him taking photos and videos of CPD building on Cunningham Lane. Okay, since now they give me that information, I'll be putting in a public information request form to CPD to figure out what the hell they're talking about. Of course, I've already had contact with the chief of police, TBI. They were actually trying to, or somebody had made a notion to revoke my handgun carry permit for participating in constitutionally protected activities. I find that to be totally absurd. So we're going to revoke your Second Amendment rights for participating in your First Amendment rights. Let that sink in. Now it's got some information about Anonymous I'm going to keep private. You know, I have no business telling other people's facts. But if he wants to, he can mention them into the live stream chat, and y'all can talk about it there. Officer Potter goes on to say, Officer Steve Freeman, CPD, saw the individuals on the property of dispatch. I'm going to get that statement. And will have a statement. I will also be getting statements from dispatchers who saw them on the property after they left work tonight. Those statements will come when the dispatchers return to work. So I will be putting in another public information request form for those statements. I was kidnapped and held in jail for an hour. I was totally under arrest. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely totally under arrest. The moment that they kidnapped you off public property, you were no longer a free person. The second them cuffs went on you. We weren't free people anyway, in my book, because we couldn't continue on what we were doing. So that was Officer Kelly Potter, or Deputy Potter. Now, so that was Deputy Roid Rage right there. Yeah, Kelly. Now, this is Senior Citizen Roid Rage. His name is Charles B. Hummel. His statement comes and goes as such. His daddy wanted a daughter badly. That was funny shit right there. Came out from the briefing and encountered a white male in his mid-20s walking down the sidewalk. He's talking about yours truly here. In front of the sheriff's office. And he was filming using his cell phone and a GoPro camera on his hat. Did not have a GoPro camera that night. I recently bought that within the past 3 to 4 weeks. I actually only had my cell phone and a Nikon camera. I guess they have transgender, what? What was that? Oh man, I wish it didn't disappear. That was funny. He was filming using his cell phone and a GoPro camera on his hat. He was dressed in heavy camouflage type jacket with a camouflage baseball cap. This is the hat I was wearing that night. Old Glory flying high on the head right there, I don't see any camouflage, it's camouflage, it's see-through, whatever. What bullshit. If you're gonna lie, at least make it believable. At least have your facts straight. I don't understand that. Anyway, and his face was totally covered up with a camouflage type wrap. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything against transgenders or anything else like that. You do me. No, wait, I said that wrong. Hey, you be quiet back there. You do you, I do me. Live and let live. That's my philosophy. I don't care, your sexual orientation, color, creed. As far as I'm concerned, we all bleed red, white, and blue, or should bleed red, white, and blue. We do live in the greatest nation on this world. So, with a camouflage baseball type hat. His face was totally covered up with a camouflage type wrap, and proceeded in front of me across the crosswalk. Whatever. You followed me, you prick. I called out to him and advised him to remove the cover from his face, and he was very slow to react to my directions. Well, I don't have to listen to you. I'm not breaking a law. What do you not understand about that? Just because you've got a badge and a gun and a stick up your ass, think that gives you authority over me? It doesn't. Better go out there and, play freaking cop somewhere else, idiot. So I repeated it, and he complied. Then he turned and faced me and wanted to know why I told him to take it off. I told him that he looked like a terrorist, and he is scaring the general population. Then he continued on, I lost my place. He continued on that he wasn't doing anything wrong and proceeded to argue with me. And I advanced my position to directly in front of him, aggressively. Advanced his position, my ass. Lost my place again, trying to read the comments. Directly in front of him, and explained that with the way he looked, people complained and felt threatened by his actions. I don't care about your feelings. Neither do the facts, okay? Because somebody feels something, that means I'm a criminal? What in what world are these people living in? Because they sure as hell ain't living in this one. Great point. What does a terrorist look like? What general public? Considering the time and hour, we were the only ones on the street. Only ones. And yet we're scaring the general population. Well, I guess flies are now considered, that and the frickin' gnats are considered general population now. Great point. Okay. He proceeded to argue with me, and I advanced my position directly in front of him and explained that the way he looked, people complained and felt threatened by his actions. The other two individuals that he was with, it was just a little quotation area. I guess he had to put it in there. Then I left that area, went to my patrol vehicle, after he forced me off the sidewalk, because he kept on getting in my personal... I could not... if I would have blinked in the wrong direction, my eyelashes would have touched him. He was so close to me. No, this isn't an arrest report. This is actually an incident report, a narrative from the deputies involved in our incident. Me, News Now Tennessee, and News Now Anonymous. We were taking pictures and photographs outside Clarksville, Montgomery. False narrative. Yeah, good point. False narrative. Outside Montgomery County, Clarksville, Tennessee, Montgomery County Sheriff's Complex. They basically harassed and accosted us, arrested News Now Anonymous for absolutely nothing, for failure to ID. Me in Tennessee, we were threatened with arrest if we didn't show ID. Potter proceeded to get out the cuffs, so on and so forth. Oh, you definitely never call the police. It puts your life in jeopardy. Correct. Um, but after I ID'd, they proceeded to search me because I had my concealed carry ID on me. No, I was not carrying that night, but they said they were going to do a Terry frisk, which went well beyond a Terry frisk. They went inside my pockets. They groped my groin area, pretty firmly. You know, I don't even think my wife has squeezed my balls that tightly. But enough of that. The footage has been preserved. It's backed up, and it's on SD cards to where no internet forces can be tampered with it. Yeah, most definitely. He goes on to say, then I left the area and went to my patrol car, and after stating, "Get the hell out of my," or "Stay the hell out of my way." That's a great way to address the public. Went to the patrol car, pulled it out and around to the front of the parking garage, then turned on my camera system to record these individuals. I put in any video surveillance footage via microphone, body cam, dash cam, building surveillance, and I have the public information return requests stating that there was no such footage. So, right here, the PIO, Sandra Brendan, has basically lied on an official form. So, cover up much? I turned my camera system to record these individuals so that we would have photos of them. After they left the area, I downloaded the camera to a server and notified Sergeant Evans of the video footage. It says, Deputy Potter later notified me about writing this supplement. Oh, so they already talked and got their story straight on what they were going to say to each other. Sounds to me like a bunch of criminals acting under the color of law. We got to cover each other's asses. We're the Thin Blue Line. Thin Blue Gang is more like it. Okay, so this one would be Mark A. Rose. And that patrol number is 32. Hummel's is P12. Potter's is P12. Oh, what? Patrol 12? No, Potter's is K950. And Deputy Rose. The P32 or Pat 32 is actually the approving officer. The deputy Mark A. Rose, his patrol number is PAT 72. Deputy Hummel's is P55. Yeah, K950. While at Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, multiple deputies and I were informed that there were people walking around videotaping the sheriff's office and walking around patrol vehicles. Myself and multiple deputies made contact with the individuals. I made contact with Constitutional Hero, who was walking next to some of the patrol vehicles parked next to the sheriff's office. I noticed that Constitutional Hero had his phone out and appeared to be videotaping. I also noticed that Constitutional Hero had his face covered and that I could only see his eyes. So that's in direct contradiction to what Potter said, that we had our faces covered but could see our teeth. If you get your face covered, is about all you can see, my freaking eyeballs. I began to ask Constitutional Hero what he was doing, and he told me he was just walking. I asked him if he was recording. He said yes. Then I asked Mr. Constitutional Hero if if he was trying to do anything else. At that time, he stated he didn't want to speak to me anymore. Constitutional Hero began to walk away from me, and he began to walk across the street. During this time, Deputy Hummel was walking beside Constitutional Hero on his way to his car. Deputy Hummel told Constitutional Hero that he needed to pull the cloth from his face. Deputy Hummel then informed Constitutional Hero that he was going to scare people with his face covered. Constitutional Hero then made a statement about it being cold outside. 43 degrees it was that night. Me, News Now Anonymous, and News Now Tennessee had already been out for about maybe an hour and a half. So yeah, it was cold to us. When you're in a nice warm building and you don't have to worry about it, you don't, there's really no need for a revisit. News Now Anonymous, there's been a department briefing about constitutionally protected activities concerning the First Amendment. They've been pretty much given a stand-down order. I talked to a one Deputy Sam in Walmart. Great interaction with the guy. Very polite. Probably one of the most professional sheriffs I've ever met in my life. He was actually supposed to work that night. He didn't. He said, "Thank God," his own words. He said that they got to watch our video, which they already viewed my channel and everything. So pretty much, he said that we would never get an interaction like that again, and that was coming from Deputy Sam. Okay, so it was being cold outside. A verbal argument then ensued between the two of them, and that was me and Deputy Hummel. Then I stayed on scene while Deputy Potter and Deputy Bosworth conducted an investigation pertaining to the suspicious activity. I was also informed at one point that the incident started because the individuals were walking around the 911 center and someone thought that they were suspicious. So we were threatened, harassed, had our civil rights violated because somebody thought we looked suspicious. Because someone's feelings. Let that sink in. So I feel as though that you're a giant cuntsicle. Does that make you a giant cuntsicle? I don't think so. In my opinion, it would. But my opinion doesn't matter. Only the facts matter. Okay. So that was Hummel. And this is Deputy Bosworth, Jason M. His patrol number is PAT 75. I responded to a suspicious activity call Sergeant Evans received by phone from dispatch while in briefing. Dispatch stated there were 3 individuals filming and photographing outside their building and had moved to the front of the sheriff's office. Once I made my way outside of the building, I could see one individual taking photos with his cell phone of the inside of the patrol cars. One individual across the street, News Now Tennessee, I was the first individual taking pictures of the patrol cars, not what was inside them. License plates, please. One individual... Lost my place again. One individual across the street, News Now Tennessee. All of us were, as we walked out, and another walked towards us filming with his cell phone. Well, I don't know. I don't know who was where. I think I was the one walking towards them with their cell phone, or with my cell phone. As I followed Deputy Potter across the street, I heard him ask what they were doing. Deputy Potter then asked for ID. As that was going on, News Now Anonymous came up saying that we were all violating their rights. They were. Deputy Potter advised News Now Anonymous he needed to see some ID. News Now Anonymous declined and stated he didn't have to give Deputy Potter his ID. Deputy Potter advised News Now Anonymous if he didn't show ID, he would be detained until we could figure out who he was. Again, News Now Anonymous declined. Deputy Potter then advised me to detain News Now Anonymous. Then I detained News Now Anonymous and walked him into the booking area until the other deputies were finished investigating the other two individuals. As I waited, I lost count of how many times News Now Anonymous tried his best to insult me and the agency. Well, you are tyrants and you are pieces of shit. I would insult you too. You don't deserve the decency of being addressed as a civilized human being when you're violating the rights of other people. Idiots. That's what they are. All of them idiots. And I lost my place. Okay. News Now Anonymous stated I was a Nazi, correct, and I was from Germany numerous times. That is effing hilarious. It doesn't state anything about disorderly conduct at all, which we have the video evidence. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's Tyrant Alert, Clarksville, Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. It's in my videos somewhere. It's a nighttime video, so you'll have to deal with poor lighting and pretty much a lot of audio. He stated that a few months back, a pedestrian saw an officer getting beat up and stepped up to help the officer. He stated that if it was him, he would have just filmed it. Right. He stated that we don't care about anybody else's rights, and that all law enforcement is just there to profit from everybody else. Once the deputies were done with their investigation, they came in and got News Now Anonymous, where he was trespassed from the 911 call center and released. End of report. Okay. So, we're going to go over some factual information that actually happened that night. What actually happened that night was, we were walking around, taking pictures, participating in First Amendment protected activities. Just having a good old time, like we always do.
Huh? I'm not going to answer any more questions.
So about this part in the video, is right when I first meet Deputy Hummel. And he tells me to take my face mask off. I do so.
Populous with that. Okay?
Why are you approaching me so aggressively?
Because you're acting like a terrorist. That's why.
No, it's cold out here.
People were. It ain't cold.
It is cold. Well, I'm in a jacket.
Do when it gets cold? Crazy.
Excuse me.
Can y'all hear the audio?
I'm going to work.
Okay.
Just stay the hell out of my way.
Hey, excuse me. Hey, you want to get your watchdog? I ain't doing nothing wrong.
You had your face covered, and I asked you to remove it.
And I did.
And you did.
Correct.
And I explained why I wanted you to do it.
Okay. Oh, you need
and
to
we're
chill
done
out.
now, okay?
You need to chill out.
Now you understand it, right?
You need to chill out. I'm not
doing
doing
anything. You don't have to tell me
anything.
to chill out.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
You don't have to tell me to chill out.
Please, leave me alone.
Good. Keep moving.
It's ridiculous.
Okay. So, we'll go back over that real quick, because that needs to be addressed. Yet again, I'll read Deputy Hummel's report one more time for the record. I came out from briefing and encountered a white male in his mid-20s walking down the sidewalk in front of the sheriff's office. He was filming using his cell phone and GoPro camera on his hat. Didn't have a GoPro camera on my hat. Yet again, rebuttal. He was dressed in a heavy camouflage jacket with a camouflage baseball cap in his cap, and his face totally covered up with camouflage type wrap. I proceeded in front. He proceeded in front of me across the sidewalk. I called out to him and advised him to remove the cover from his face, motherfucker. He was very. Man, if people could type, he was very slow to react to my directions, so I repeated it. I'm sorry, I got flustered. I'm pissed. and he complied. Then he turned and faced me and wanted to know why I told him to take it off. I told him he looked like a terrorist and is scaring the general population. Then he continued on that he wasn't doing anything wrong, and proceeded to argue with me. And I advanced my position directly in front of him, and explained that with the way he looked, people complained and felt harassed by his actions. Then I left the area, went to my patrol vehicle, so on and so forth, turned on the camera. Now we can go back at that one more time. One more time for the record. One more damn time for the record. Hope y'all can hear it. I'm going to shut the hell up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pull it all the way down. You'll scare the populace with that. Okay?
Why are you approaching me so aggressively?
Because you're acting like a terrorist. That's why.
No, it's cold out here.
People were. It ain't cold.
It is cold. Well, I mean, I'm in a jacket.
What are you gonna do when it gets cold? Christ.
Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me. I'm going to work.
Okay.
Just stay the hell out of my way.
Hey, excuse me. Hey, you want to get your watchdog? I ain't doing nothing wrong.
You had your face covered, and I asked you to remove it.
And I did.
And you did.
Correct.
And I explained why I wanted you to do it.
Okay. Oh, you need
and we're
to chill
done
out.
now. Okay.
You need to chill out.
Now you understand it, right?
You need to chill out. I'm not doing
You don't have to tell me
anything.
to chill out.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
You don't have to tell me to chill out.
Please.
He was
Leave me
so
alone.
close to me by this point, I could smell the pussy he had ate 6 years ago.
It's ridiculous.
You have to deal with the cloudy picture, unfortunately.
I'm not going to get in their way. I'm going to go back up here. Crap.
In the background, you can actually hear when Tennessee was citing verbatim Tennessee Code annotated, and Deputy Potter didn't want to have anything to do with it whatsoever. He said that whatever he was citing wasn't a law, so on and so forth. Where do you look it up from? Google, No, you can go down to Nexus Lexus. Nexus Lexus, let me say one more again. And read Tennessee Code annotated. All day long. That's where I get most of my information from. So we'll go back to Potter, and he goes, where the hell is that bastard at? What the hell did I do with it? Son of a bitch. No, here it is. Right in the damn front of my face. Yeah. He goes on to say that he made contact with News Now Tennessee. I informed him numerous times that him and his buddy were being suspicious and covering their faces and taking pictures of government buildings, that I needed them to provide identification. News Now Tennessee tried to recite the law that did not pertain to what he was doing, because he was threatening to charge us with disorderly conduct, which disorderly conduct wouldn't apply to the situation that we were in. And you'll hear it in the video, or the audio here of this video shortly. So right there.
I'm going to go back up here. Absolutely.
Whatever you're citing is not a law. How about you get your corrections straight? There's a law that states if you're being suspicious, which you're being suspicious right now with your two buddies, you're being detained.
I'm not going to get in their way. I'm going to go back up here.
It's not the law. That's just made up you and your freaking sovereign citizens.
All the sovereign citizens at that point. Not one time did anybody say that they were a sovereign citizen. I consider myself a United States citizen.
What video recording a government building with you
So just because he spews horse shit out of his mouth, it's now law. It's very important.
What did I do wrong?
That's suspicious. That you guys are walking around with videotape. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, but
You already know who I am.
I think so.
Yeah,
He knows exactly who I am.
You know exactly who I am.
Knows exactly who I am. Like all departments didn't know about me at that point in time.
We're just out here taking pictures. I don't understand what's going on.
You have his ID?
No, not yet.
Give us your ID, or you're going to be detained, like your buddies.
For?
Disorderly conduct.
I guess they did say that we were going to.
One, you're being suspicious, taking and filming in front of a government building. That's suspicious. We have the right to ask for your ID. You refuse to give your ID, you're going to be arrested for disorderly conduct. Do you understand that?
Wow, right there.
I promise you.
The noise that you hear is simply
ID,
his cuss.
ID, or you're going to jail.
I just want to have a conversation.
No, you're not. ID, or you're going to jail.
So,
ID, or you're going to jail. I'll give you one more chance, and then you're going to go to jail.
It's in my
Pull out your ID.
front little pocket.
This one right here.
What crime says, what law says it's a crime
You have a gun on you?
No, I don't.
in front of a government building?
check.
I bet you did.
I don't consent to any searches or seizures.
Well, we're gonna do a Terry.
You have a
We're gonna do
handgun
a Terry
carry
frisk.
permit?
You can't do a Terry frisk.
Yes, we can.
He's got a handgun carry permit. We're gonna make sure he doesn't have a gun on him.
Terry frisk just it consists of
Can I get name
patting
and badge
down.
numbers?
My name's Deputy Pryor.
They go in my pockets, they grope my groin,
Sir.
everything.
Deputy Richard, Reserve 73. You have to raise my arm so high. Can I get a wrist check?
Damn near bit my arm all the way up here.
Get a lot of
Almost made me
officer
drop my
shootings. What
camera.
people are doing nowadays.
I asked the cop to grab it so it wouldn't break.
Deputy Rose, Patrol 72. Yeah, just camera right here for you. Okay.
Am I being arrested?
Has that word been used yet?
That officer said I was going to be arrested. I just wanted clarity.
I don't think he said that you were getting arrested.
So he didn't think that he said I was going to be arrested. I'm
Can I get your
pretty
name and
sure
badge number?
it was clearly stated.
I don't have a badge number. My name is Deputy Wright.
You, sir? Stevenson. I thought y'all swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. You know? I mean, just taking pictures and that constitutes
You're right.
crime.
After illegal
That's
detainment,
disorderly
terror
conduct.
frisk can take place. You're
Because we can.
correct in that one.
It's
We
constitutionally
weren't
protected activity.
legally detained. We were illegally detained.
Haven't you heard of the DHS document that was
DHS
released in
memo does not
2010
apply here.
stating that what we are doing is perfectly legal? We're not on your property. We're outside
I've used the
on
DHS
a
memo
public
wrong a couple of
sidewalk.
times, which I've stopped myself from doing that.
I would like to have that officer's name right there. One walking away, the aggressor.
That's Potter.
Potter. And does anybody happen to know that sheriff that was really aggressive to me up there, the old guy?
The memo is very powerful. If you
I'll
don't
ask him.
know
He
what the
probably
memo
knows.
is, look it up. DHS memo 2010. It's concerning FPS personnel, federal agencies. That First Amendment auditors are perfectly well within their rights to photograph the shit out of their buildings, as long as they're on
Constitutional hero
publicly
here
accessible land.
at the sheriff's department. We were threatened with arrest and charged with disorderly. They took News Now Anonymous
I didn't
for
understand.
refusal
Tells what
to ID. Will be charged with disorderly.
He's known as the Kelly Potter is known as the dancing cop here in Clarksville. I guess he goes around shaking his ass.
Felipe, if
while
you're
he's
out
doing
there,
it.
News Now Anonymous has been detained and arrested, charged or verbally charged with disorderly conduct.
TCA says for disorderly conduct that you have to have threats of violence.
Right.
You have to have fighting words. I don't cuss. You didn't hear me cuss.
Excuse me, sir.
And there
Do you
goes News Now
happen to have that
Tennessee,
one sheriff's name
citing verbatim pretty
that was,
much.
or
TCA
deputy's
codes.
name that was really aggressive towards me earlier?
Probably fixing to come back and talk to y'all. Yeah, black?
No, not the one in black. The other one at the very beginning.
I don't know which one you're talking about. Who's with you?
Right, that's what I'm saying. The older gentleman that went into the parking garage.
Oh. Yeah, Deputy Hummel.
Deputy Hummel?
Yes.
Okay. He definitely violated my space. My bubble is contaminated.
He asked me to vacate the area. I kept trying to walk away. Every time I walked away, he walked straight into my path and stuck his arm out. So there's no way.
No, they didn't tell the
Tried to
deputies
continue
to stop
down the
here.
street. They kept on blocking my movement, forcing me to change directions each way within inches of my person.
I think they were standing around due to self-preservation at that point, because they looked like they were scared shitless.
We are here at Montgomery
reason
County
whatsoever.
Public Safety Complex, 120 Commerce Street, Office of the Sheriff's Administration Enforcement Detainment Unit, or Detention Unit.
Okay, so Tennessee Code annotated 39-17-305, disorderly conduct, engaging in fighting or violent or threatening behavior, refusing to obey official orders to disperse, issued to maintain public safety in dangerous proximity to fire, hazards, or other emergencies, or creating a hazard or physical offensive condition by any act that serves no legitimate purpose. A person also violates this section who makes unreasonable noise that prevents others from carrying on unlawful activity. A violation of this subsection is a Class C misdemeanor. So that would not apply in any aspect to what we were doing. So if anything, they could be charged with disorderly conduct for under Section A3, creates a person that violates this section who makes unreasonable noise that prevents others from carrying on lawful activity. They made unreasonable noise. Wouldn't you agree? Thank you for the agreement. Okay, let's continue on with some audio. So they're all standing around right now with their thumbs up their asses.
Yes, I did ID.
You know, I'll tell y'all why I ID'd. I had estimations to go out and do that day. I have to provide for my family, so I really don't have to explain it to y'all because I really don't give a shit one way or another.
I know, y'all. I didn't want to, but
Here we go.
I've got to provide for my family at this point. I've got estimations got to handle tomorrow. We're in Clarksville, Tennessee, downtown. Montgomery County, Tennessee.
You guys want to stop recording?
This is for our safety. I'm not going to stop.
Okay, guys, you guys just stop recording. I'll talk to you guys for a second.
So this is Sergeant Evans telling us to stop recording. Of course, I faked like I stopped recording just so he would actually start speaking out of his cocksucker.
A couple times, just want to make sure. Okay, I know you guys can do this, but why? I mean, that's the big question is.
Why not?
There's a lot of things.
Why not? Why would y'all come out here and approach us like this?
Okay, can I ask you a question? Do you guys watch the news at all?
Don't give me this day and age crap. Don't give me this day and age crap, because that's seriously bullshit.
Okay, so everything that Fox News, CNN,
Pennsylvania, as far as I know, is an all-party consent state.
CNN especially.
Well, I don't watch
as
them
far as
either.
audio goes, video you're fine, but audio in
What we're
Pennsylvania,
doing,
you have to
there's
have
nothing
all-party consent.
illegal about it.
Okay.
To say that we're going to
From
be
the
charged with
information I've
disorderly
received.
conduct for failure to ID is unlawful, and you know that to be true because Tennessee is not a stop and identify state. You know that to be true.
Here's the deal, though. If you violate a law, we are
What law did we violate?
Like he said, got you for disorderly.
I'm just telling you.
Disorderly?
You're under suspicion. We don't know what you guys are doing with that
That's
stuff.
horse crap.
So it goes from disorderly to under suspicion. Don't even know what the hell under suspicion means. I'm pretty sure there's no TCA code to actually annotate that one. You know, like I said, they spout horse shit out of their mouths, and then it automatically becomes law. They're, just because they have the badge and the gun on their hip, that means they can force their will upon you. Absolutely ridiculous. Got you for disorderly. Do I need to read disorderly again? Because I know you're going to watch the video. You're probably watching it right now. Best believe I'm coming for that footage on that dash cam that Hummel has. Best believe it. Horse before the cart. That's pretty much it. Horse before the cart.
I mean, you know it. I mean, you swore an oath to the Constitution.
No, not to the Constitution. As when I was in the military, I did, but not here.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let me replay it one more time.
We don't know what you guys are doing with that
That's
stuff.
horse crap, and you know it. I mean, you swore an oath to the Constitution.
No, not to the Constitution. As when I was in the military, I did, but not here.
So you don't swear an oath by putting on that badge?
I didn't say that. You said Constitution. I swore an oath to the state of Tennessee and Montgomery County citizens.
Right, I'm a citizen.
Okay.
You're right.
But
Absolute citizen.
Okay. Now, when I looked up Tennessee beat it. Tennessee beat me to it. God dang you. Yes, I was looking up TCA code, and specifically in there, they actually swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, Chapter 8. And I'll pull it up later, and I'll post it in the info in the comment section. That way, if anybody wants to go back and look it up, they'll be more than willing to. So let's continue on. So a sheriff did not swear an oath to uphold the Constitution. Well, if he didn't swear an oath to uphold the United States Constitution, I'm pretty sure that he had to swear an oath to the Tennessee Constitution. And in Tennessee, under Section 19, Article 1, the printing press shall be free to every person to examine the proceedings of the legislation or any branch or office of the government. No law shall ever be made to restrain the right thereof. The free communication of thoughts and opinions is one invaluable right of man, and every citizen may freely speak, write, produce, for publication of papers investigating the office's official conduct of officers or men in public capacity. The truth thereof may be given in evidence in all indictments. The jury shall have the right to determine the law and the facts under the direction of the court, as in other criminal cases. Pretty self-explanatory. If I don't say my own words, or saying somebody else's words that wrote it a long time ago. Let's continue on.
But the thing about it, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you own a house?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let's say some people were standing outside your house taking
Yes,
pictures
you
of
did
you.
quote it
Are you
well,
married?
Tennessee.
Okay, so you're married. You have children. Would
No,
you like people outside of your house?
There's nothing I can do to stop them.
But my question to you is, would you, and you have a young child, would you feel a little nervous about someone videotaping?
That's why you watch them. But you don't come out here and do all this crap.
But I mean, you're not answering my question though.
I don't have to
Wouldn't
answer
you
your
feel a
question.
little nervous too? If you knew there was pedophiles out
Y'all are
there.
the ones with the
So
guns. We ain't got
basically-
nothing on us.
Look at that right there. So basically, he made a general statement and called us all pedophiles. His own words.
Y'all are are the ones with the guns.
But you're not answering my question.
And y'all are outnumber us. I mean, look right now.
The answer to my question is yes, you'd be nervous.
So am I being charged with anything?
No.
You're going to be criminally trespassed to 911 center. You're no longer going to be allowed on 911 center property.
We're not on 911 center property.
Listen, let me talk. Don't be rude and disrespectful. You
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Stop interrupting. You are not allowed to go down to the 911 center anymore. If you go down there, you will be arrested for criminal trespassing. You understand that?
No.
You will also be criminally trespassed against that property. Do you understand that?
I don't know where the demarcation is.
The demarcation is line? Stay off their property. That's the demarcation.
Now, if y'all heard that, the demarcation is line, the guy has got to be on something. I actually had an encounter with him the other day, and he was very polite and very professional. We talked for about 15 minutes. Talked about his military service career, so on and so forth. So, the encounter I had previously at the gas station with him, being a professional sheriff deputy that night, and then being a tyrant one night, I dismissed the encounter I've had recently with him, because the encounter that I'm watching right now of my live video that I did lets me know that 9 times out of 10, when he's dealing with people of the general public, that is how he acts.
Where were we at?
Where you
What
guys
building?
were just at.
We were on the sidewalk.
Don't play us like we're stupid. Don't even play us like
It
we're
doesn't
stupid.
matter what they said. We got it all.
It does matter what they say.
Said,
We
"Don't
got it
play
all
the
on video."
sidewalk,
Yeah,
stupid.
so do they.
Okay.
I guarantee they have it in HD instead of your little camera.
Oh man. Dear Jesus.
Well, because when you're ignorant, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're disrespectful.
You
like
can't
I'm
even
not
cite a law.
disrespectful.
Other than disorderly.
Is it against the
And
law?
criminal
Talk?
trespass.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
You're right. It's absolutely not. And here in a few minutes, you're going to be free to go. You criminal
HD,
trespass.
right.
Dispatch, don't go down there no more. You will be arrested.
Dispatch.
Yeah, you can Google where it's at. You can learn where that's at.
Are you talking about the precinct right there?
Well, you need to
That's not a precinct.
Google some Nexus
You
Lexus.
got to just that.
The custodian for the
Look up some Tennessee Code annotated.
Oh.
I'm telling you, the choices for law enforcement when they're doing like their law test, it's got to be multiple choice.
Mind if I grab it?
Because the way that they talk in here, they're so ignorant, it's not even funny. And that's
I wanna
one
get
thing
shot
that
over
pisses them
here.
off the most. A citizen that knows his rights. Hands down. There was a bottle on the ground here shortly. He tells me to pick it up, like I'm his trash boy or something like that. You better get the hell on somewhere.
That looks like it's
My immunity's been gone, brothers.
that's an
Probably would have charged me with littering at that point.
It might be,
Boy, you know, for these damn statements that they got here, man, I mean, they done watched the video and everything. So why wouldn't you make your statement
Absolutely ridiculous.
as truly accurate as possible instead of make up this freaking total horseshit of a lie on each statement that they wrote? I mean, they can't even get their asses together, even though they talked prior to making these statements and get all on the same
do y'all have a
page.
phone number here?
Yeah. The sheriff's office?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find it online.
Okay.
Oh, you know, if you're in trouble, you're supposed to call the police, but, you know, I asked for the sheriff's number, and, oh, I can find it online. Yeah, good service. Yeah, man, you're fucking truly, you're a true professional. The loud, be
Okay.
quiet.
Did I not? So could you show us where we're not allowed to go? Like physically? I don't want to walk on that side of you.
What question did you ask, the loud? Oh, what happened? Once I post it, you'll be able to reread everything, but I just can't go into it a third time. Or rewatch everything. I've been reading some incident reports, some sworn statements that some deputies made that don't quite add up to a video that has been posted, my Tyrant alert video of Montgomery County Sheriff's Department. If you need, you can go back and watch it, and then you can watch this video, and you'll get more general information.
And I'll take pictures of them.
I'm just going over some audio, you know, and going over their statements pretty much at the same time. I needed to spit right there too. It was coming up.
Is this a citation?
Oh, the horse shit they tried to drive down my throat, man. I mean, shit. You want to spit
It's
too?
not mine. You can fingerprint it. It's not mine. I'm not touching it. They'll get me for littering then.
Truth be told. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta go grab the damn charger. Well, instigating or not, you can't make a constitutionally protected act that is legal illegal.
Can I get your
pure
name?
and simple as it is. Whether your feelings are hurt, whether your butt's sore, so on and so forth. That's just the way. That's just the way it is.
I like how you said that. That was pretty slick. See, y'all can smile. Y'all can. Y'all can smile.
That's right.
Got Officer Roy's over there. God damn. I need to do urinalysis on that guy. Straight up. Bet you if I could.
What is that with the military? No.
What does that mean? Well, what does that have to do with anything?
Conversation. Just curious.
He asked.
Seems like you're a patriot.
He asked if any one of us were in the military, and then he was gonna go. I can promise you, I put it on my life, that he was going to go, well, this day and age bullshit, like we always hear. I know for a fact that that's where this guy was going to go in. This day and age, you know, we got terrorism and threats and, you know, police officers being killed. Well, what about us civilians being killed? Unarmed civilians. You know, Bunny Boots did a great video and showed a great clip of a guy walking down a hill. He'd been backpacking or he was living out there, whatever. I don't know too much information on it, but they throw a damn flashbang grenade at him, scaring the shit out of the guy, and then they mow him down with AR-15s when there's an adequate distance to where this guy had no weapon other than a knife, as far as I know of, and then blasted the shit out of him. He probably is a troll. I don't care. Bring him on. They give me some slight entertainment in the morning when I wake up.
Is that all throughout the United States or just here in Tennessee?
Hey, I quoted Tennessee Code Annotated and the Tennessee Constitution.
Right.
Quote the Tennessee. I'm not a sovereign citizen.
You see what
No,
they said?
no sovereign citizen here.
I quoted.
Or just here in Tennessee? What's that?
I am a patriot. I'm a con.
Because I see you got the American flag on your hat.
Bet you if I could.
What do you guys serve in the military? No.
What does that mean? Well, what does that have to do with anything?
That's the hat that he's talking about.
Just curious. Because I see you got the American flag on your hat. Seems like you're a patriot. Just wondering if you're.
I am a patriot.
But according to Hummel,
I am a patriot. I'm a constant.
I was wearing a camouflage hat. So, you know, this is now a camouflage hat. We see that the delusion that they actually live in, where you can't even perceive a hat that is gray, see-through in the back, white, and an American flag. So now it's camouflage. In their position, I honestly wouldn't recognize the American flag either, okay? Looking through their own eyes, they probably don't recognize the American flag.
Constitutionalist.
Is that all throughout the United States or just here in Tennessee?
Hey, I quote a Tennessee Code annotated and the Tennessee Constitution.
Right.
How many people quote the Tennessee? I'm not a sovereign citizen.
No sovereign citizen here.
I quote a Tennessee
I love my
Code
country.
annotated.
It's just the camera lens. I know it looks foggy.
I can come down here during the daytime, which I've been here before. I even taped your back security gate
just
over
happens.
there.
Sovereign citizens don't quote.
Y'all didn't even approach me.
All we do
One of your Latino sheriffs in there, don't remember her name, got it on another video, said I was well within my constitutional rights. Very good job, respected her a lot. But this right here, absolutely ridiculous. I guess there wasn't enough action on the inside, huh?
It's chit-chat.
Yeah, I've already got 360 footage around this whole entire facility.
They all never go.
Got you coming in and out of your secured access point.
And now that you hear that, I want to make a reference to what I said there about my 360 footage. I went there during the daytime. I got their secured access where only they're allowed in. Videotaped the crap out of that place. Went up to the courthouse where I engaged a lieutenant up there, or actually he engaged me. He actually had to pull one of his deputies off me because he had grabbed my camera. And I told him, hey, you can't touch my camera. Unfortunately, Fort Campbell has that footage from my Fort Campbell incident with them. But for the most part, they were very polite that day. I engaged a Latino officer. We had a mutual engagement. And she talked to me a little bit. She said, what I was doing, I was well within my constitutional rights. I applauded her hands down. I would want to meet that sheriff any damn day of the week. She was so professional. And then, we get these tyrants, all of them, civil rights intimidation, official oppression, official misconduct, so on and so forth. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And I'm still free.
So I can go there during the daytime and videotape, and I'm fine. But I can't walk around again at nighttime and videotape and not be fine and have one good interaction. So they already knew what I was doing. They already knew who I was because I'd already been there a week and a half, maybe 2 previously to this incident date. So they already knew that there was somebody filming. But when you get a different shift on that already knows what we're doing, and they come out and they act a damn fool, stepping on the little man because they have a badge and a gun, something's wrong with that. They say, oh, well, there's only a few bad apples. Well, the few bad apples make y'all look like shit. How about that? How about you get rid of the few bad apples? Potter actually won the Hero Award. The Hero Award. And he's acting like that towards civilians participating in constitutionally protective activity. That is absolutely ridiculous. How can you run a Hero Award and at the same time be trying to suppress people's civil rights? I hope you do a live stream. Tell me when. I will watch it, News Now Tennessee. I want to know. I want to know your thoughts on it. I want to see that video you got. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the world does. I know we got to hold off, but damn, I'm anxious.
You're being trespassed from the 911 dispatch.
We never went there.
Yeah, I know, but you just said that.
I've got it on footage.
Look
Would
at
you
that.
like
Look
to
at
see
that right
it?
there. Look at that. Hold on. We're going to go back 20 seconds. Said, quote unquote, we never went there. And he goes, yeah, I know. Look at that. So you already know, but yet again, we got charged with criminal trespass, or supposedly charged with criminal trespass, no citation of nothing, or warrant of criminal trespass, whatever the hell.
We never went there.
Yeah, I know, but you just said that.
I've got it on footage. Would you like to see it?
So, I'm not the one charging you.
Right.
He's the one, and you're not being charged. It's more like a warning, so that way if you go back, you'll be
The
charged.
whole third shift is out.
He's the one that's doing it.
But how can you be warned of something if you didn't do it? Wouldn't that be generating a false report? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay,
legitimately.
Right. But if it's county property and we trespass you from this property,
So a sidewalk is county property.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about right here. I'm talking about whatever happened down there.
They're saying you were on the property, whether you were not. I don't know. I wasn't. They're saying you were on it. They have the right to trespass whoever they want from coming back onto the property. So you're getting a warning not to come back on.
So that little green rail over there
Well, that's the impression.
that overlooks the dispatch.
We're just giving.
So what if I need a police report?
You can go outside and get one. You want to give it about, what, 5 days? 3 to 5 days?
No, I'm talking about not from y'all, from the police.
You need to call them first.
You're not being trespassed from the Clarksville Police Department.
They actually share a conjoint property, 911 Center and Clarksville PD, which I have walked down there, and they didn't say shit to me. If they were to try to interfere with me, I'm pretty sure. What? No pics of what? Oh, I better leave my wife the hell alone. He fucked up real quick.
Right. Trespass from the 911 dispatch center, which is right next to 2 different buildings.
Yeah. Oh, we were just right in front. On the sidewalk.
Like I said, I wasn't
they're
there.
only where I can
You
see
were
them.
there for that video. So,
No, Lieutenant.
Do y'all have a complaint form?
goes inside the records. To be honest with you,
Am I going to be allowed to record if I go in?
Probably not. See a problem.
Can y'all get me one?
You can't record.
to be honest, I don't know if there's a physical form.
So he told me one of the officers in that said I couldn't record in there. Tell me why I've been in there four different times. Today's number 5, and I've recorded every single time. Can't tell me I can't record in there.
I'll find out.
Kiss my ass.
Honestly, I don't know if
Can I
it's
shake your
recorded there or not. I don't know.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I know there's a way to do it online, but to be honest with you, I don't know if there's an actual complaint box anymore. You know what I mean?
I asked to shake the hand. I told him thank you.
written one.
But what he didn't know is that was me being satirical.
Make sure
And I
my
thank you
light
for
went on.
violating my rights.
Right. I do appreciate your demeanor.
Oh, yeah. I'm just here to make sure.
I would still like that elderly, that senior citizen guy, whatever the hell his name is.
I told you his name too.
What was his name again?
All right. I've been here
Hummel.
for
Okay.
19 years.
That guy needs to be have a UI done on him.
All of them need to have a damn psyche valve done. Something's wrong up here.
I know for a fact that y'all already know who I am.
Damn right.
I know for a
Photography
fact
isn't
that
crime.
y'all already know who I am.
Not unless you're videotaping kids. Then you fuck.
Because, I mean, I've been up there at the courthouse,
Do that here.
and the guy that's in charge over the courthouse, he gets triggered by the same thing.
Now, if that's not the case,
He came up to me asking me, demanding ID, and I don't have... Really?
No, seriously, I don't know.
No.
My name's Constitutional Hero.
Which he already had my ID. He knew exactly exactly who I was at that point. And he goes, "Well, what's your name?" The fuck you mean? What's my name?
Really, to be honest with you, I don't care.
We're just curious.
About
I don't know.
you know,
We don't know who you are.
I don't really watch YouTube or anything like that. I do watch YouTube.
You do know who I am. You got my ID, don't you?
That used to be the old Leaf Chronicle.
The hell you mean you don't know who I am?
Yeah. You're actually being live streamed right now.
Okay.
Oh, it's funny now. It's funny now. Is it going to be funny when you see my ass in court?
Why can't you
Every once
answer?
in a while.
I mean, I'm not trying to get you in anything. I'm just asking.
Because you're not my friend. You know, I mean that's a simple aspect of it. You know, it'd have been different if y'all could have came out here, asked us what we were doing. We could have told you, and then y'all could have went about y'all merry way. But no, that's not what happened. You got Officer Royds down there. You know, straight coming up, bullying people, grabbing my nuts. You know, I mean, my wife is the only one that's supposed to be grabbing my nuts now. You know,
Now, wait a minute. No, I thought you just said we were not friends, and all of a sudden now you're starting to get into personal stuff.
Right.
So are we friends or not friends?
Well, I can talk. I don't have to answer your questions.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
We can have dialogue on my terms. You know?
That's true.
You know, I ain't trying to do nothing illegal. I have no ill will intent
I
towards
guess my
anybody.
other wife is in here in the chat as well.
I just want to be free. That's
All right,
it.
gentlemen, I'm going to give you back your IDs. You guys are trespass against dispatch. You go back on their property.
Could you show us where it's at?
He's
You can
definitely a
Google
top.
where it's at, okay? You have a high-speed phone, right? Google it.
See this building right here? Big one.
Uh-huh.
With all the lights on it.
So I can't walk on that sidewalk?
Sidewalk's open to the public. Just don't be on their property.
Yeah.
And the way it was
I
recorded.
need you to sign right there. It's not admitting guilt. It's just stating I made contact with you.
So don't be
and
in
you've
the
now been
parking lot, don't
trespassed
be in front of
against
the building.
dispatch. You
Anything
understand
like that.
that?
You're on the sidewalk, then you're good to go.
I'm asking you to sign this piece of paper.
Just don't be on their property.
You don't have to sign it. I don't care. You're being trespassed against dispatch. Do you understand that?
Now,
Okay. You guys are free to go. Have a good night. Please don't come back.
of course, you heard that Tennessee did refuse to sign an unlawful citation. I wasn't given the opportunity, nor did I receive the citation. Anonymous clearly stated while he was in there that he saw Officer Potter come in and rip up me and Tennessee's citation, which I still haven't received it to this day, about criminal trespass. I put in a FOIA request or a public information request for it. I'm pretty sure they're stonewalling right now, trying to pull their head out of their ass and do some damage control.
Back to dispatch. Have a good night, guys.
Okay.
Am I free to go?
Oh, yeah, you're free to go.
This way, or?
Yeah,
we're free to go
walk that
now.
way, walk that way. You can walk down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk
sidewalk
this
down
way.
there. Have a good night, guys. Drive safe.
Plan 2. Don't take too much steroids.
Or go home and beat your wife.
Alright.
I wonder what he does to his wife when she doesn't listen to him. Does he beat her? Probably, with that kind of demeanor.
Told you, didn't I? You thought I was joking.
Yeah, I would love to see the destroyed public record as well. You know. That's pretty much the end of the audio on that. If you want to see the full video so you can get the actual full feeling of what we encountered that night, feel free to go back and look at it. It's the Time and Alert, Clarksville, Montgomery County, let me see which one it is. Tyrant Alert, First Amendment Audit, Clarksville, Tennessee Sheriff's Department, Call to Action info below. That's the title. And you can look it up, see it all you want. And then you can go back to this video and you can catch some of the the deputies' narratives. They're sworn statements at this point. This is a government document, so this is a sworn statement. This is verbatim coming out of their mouth. That doesn't match anything that they say whatsoever. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask, because I'm about to go and smoke me a damn cigarette. I ain't got much battery left. I'll have to put her down and let it charge for a little bit. So ask away. Shoot your questions at me and I'll answer them right here. As far as aggression, yes, this was the worst encounter, but we also had another encounter, and I've got the video uploaded right now of some Tennessee state troopers that basically harassed and stalked us for about 3.5 hours while we were near the Department of Safety and Homeland Security office. It was pretty bad. We sat down, we ate, and everything, and they were on us the whole entire way. What they were doing is 4 hours, yeah, by the time News Now Houston says it'll be 8 hours. But, News Now Houston was there with us that night. You know, he's a great guy. You know, he's packed full of knowledge, and I was very happy just to get a chance to actually go on an audit with him. You know, it was me and News Now Tennessee. But, we sat down and ate and everything, and they were still following us. They actually tried to go in and get the store owners to criminally trespass us, but I went in right behind them, and I caught them off guard, and they didn't say shit. Later on, they went back to that store after we left, and they were actually checking for a credit card slip to seeing if we had used a credit card to purchase our meal with. No, I used cash. You know, I'm not an idiot by any means. But anyway, next question. I appreciate it, you know, and I hope to God me, News Now Tennessee, and News Now Anonymous can get together again. There is an event I'm going to personally contact News Now Tennessee, News Now Anonymous. It's an upcoming event, and I'm going to need some backup, and it's going to be a good one. It's going to be very interesting. No, News Now Tennessee is actually in here. He actually just commented right below. Answer your question. If Kelly was in a car wreck and dying, would you call 911 or record him dying? I would probably do both. You know, because I wouldn't want to interfere. You know, I definitely wouldn't want him to violate my rights again. So I wouldn't want to really have another initial contact with him. You know, that's just not. Well, I would call 911 because I believe everybody should live. You know, we shouldn't deprive anybody of life. And if I can do anything, it would be just like that night at Walmart when that guy was passed out in his car. You know, possibly having medical problems. You know, I thought one thing. I thought he was a drunk. You know, come to find out he was having a medical issue. You know, but me and you, Anonymous, we did the right thing. We did call and get that guy help. You know, regardless, you know, of what he was doing, so on and so forth, you know. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know why he went MIA. You know, I wish he'd come back on scene, but who knows? You know, it's hard to tell. Maybe he got ghosted. Yeah, Juju 68. I definitely want to get out and do an audit with him. I think it'll be interesting. It'll be very good to get out and meet the man in person. No, I haven't. I haven't worked with him. I've watched his videos. Yeah, he is brave for his age. I would recommend to him that he starts putting together a book of TCA codes for himself to read over and go over constantly. That way, you know, he can actually cite verbatim or know what he's talking about, why he's doing it. I have no doubt that the man knows what he's talking about. I know he does. But, you know, knowledge is power. And I know he watched my video. He commented, you know, put in a time of disorderly on my information for auditors. Sold my house and went to Europe. Oh, I don't want to go there. I was actually born in Germany. I got my cuckoo clock that was passed down to me, you know, from my mother. So it's older than I am. Yeah, I need to give him some contact info as well. Some polishing. I'm guessing that was a gay joke. Yeah, because I can't even pronounce your real name. Well, I didn't understand the reference then. Oh, yeah, my family does think I'm crazy. You know, I really don't care what they think. I never did. I've always been considered the black sheep. You know, if they get butt sore, butt hurt, like I say, the facts don't care about your fillers, and neither do I. So, yeah, I'm going to keep on keeping on. No, I know you love me. Did you have an issue going after this encounter? No. That's the great thing about it. I never had an issue again after this encounter. They've been totally respectful and professional in all aspects. Except the one lady at the sheriff's department behind the window, she was very ignorant. Didn't know her job. I haven't seen her since. Behind the window at all. I don't know if they removed her or put her somewhere else, put her out of sight since, she made the department look like shit, didn't even know what a complaint form was or a public information request. But Sarah Brendan, or Sandra, you got some explaining to do, Lucy. Yeah, we went back up there with News Now Houston. Houston went inside. He said they didn't like what he was doing, but they didn't engage him at all. No, I broke the camel's back on that. Or we broke the camel's back on that, should I say. Well, thank you. I drive down Highway 12 sometimes, and I appreciate you watching. We're gonna make a big deal out of this, of course. No one's gay, as far as I know. Yeah, that's my buddy Matt right there. He's my brother from another mother. I call him my wife. But no, tattooed lady is my wife. No, it hasn't gone to total shit. My philosophy is when the checks and balances go past their due dates, that's when we get tyranny. And I believe it to be a factual statement, when we don't have citizens participating in constitutionally protected activities or standing up for their rights. The officers and public officials, they'll just assume that they can do and get away with whatever they want. They're going to do it regardless. But when you have people that assert themselves and assert their rights, that's when we get to see the true tyranny. Thank you, Grey Dude, for smashing that like button. Yeah, you ran away in time. Well, I'm pretty sure since we live in the Bible Belt down here, he'll get reelected. I don't see anybody really worth voting for this time around. I was locked up one time when I was younger, but that was in my juvenile years. So really my record is squeaky clean. I haven't committed any crimes against anybody, and I don't plan to. Oh, the audits. One time at Fort Campbell, I wasn't at Fort Campbell. I was outside Fort Campbell, the Army base. They came outside, and they arrested me. They seized my cameras, which I have not gotten back, and they seized my firearm. They tried to charge me. Give you some brief info on that real quick. Damn, I need a cigarette. I don't think my phone's going to last much longer. 3%, y'all. 2 more questions and I'm cutting her off. They tried to charge me with, which they're charging me with, 18 U.S.C. 1382, which is criminal trespass, and then TCA 39-17-1307, which is concealed weapon on person. It's unlawful carry or possession of a firearm, TCA. Oh, I'm not pleading guilty. They're gonna have fun with this. My file right here is getting pretty thick with the case that I'm building against them. White County? I don't know where that's at. I know where White House, Tennessee is. Hey, pissed off taxpayer. I'm gonna have to get off here. Everybody, my phone is 2%. See, one more question. Make it a good one. I'll dedicate it to pissed off taxpayer. You got a question? Can you grab your ankles? Maybe. I ain't tried in a while. I can crawl under some pretty small houses. Alright, love y'all. Stay safe. Remember, your camera is your most powerful weapon.